both sides today in America are calling the other side Hitler. They just you see that word just thrown, thrown around from one side to the other. So let's talk about perception for a second. Now you have an unprecedented situation. We've speculated and we talked about how it happened, and maybe this way, maybe another way. Doesn't matter how it happened. It happened. You have all of the social media giants displaying their power in an unprecedented way, shutting up the president. Now, one side, the left will say, or people who support, I wouldn't even say the left. People who support, let's try to accurately reflect, largely reflect what people are feeling. So people are looking from one side, from the people who oppose Trump. They look at this act and they're saying, "Ah, thank God, thank God, these social media companies who are private companies who are not accountable. It's their own rules, their own platforms. They can do whatever they want. They have made a move for the sake of peace because we believe that this guy was inciting violence, and the moment, just another second of him on Twitter means another risk for human life." Is this a fair? You think this is a fair kind of summation of
I see
how
in
people would?
neighbors and family. Yeah, I see in neighbors, I see in family members that they really feel that the president, that Donald Trump is evil, that he is inciting white supremacists, that he's
Right.
inciting racists. So they feel that to silence him, their truth is that this is they're fighting evil.
So the other side will say this is crazy. You are those media companies who are private companies are using their power in a way that is crazy, in that they are shutting up they are cutting the connection, the communication channels that the president, who is still the sitting president, has with the public. And they now have the power, this incredible power, which is unprecedented again, to do so. And they did it. And this probably is going against the Constitution as well. Free speech is in the Constitution, right? What's going on here? And there's probably even more things. Again, I'm not an expert in U.S. Constitution or anything of that sort. But they would say, now let's take it to the extreme. They would say this is the media becoming completely politicized, and joining hands with the those with the left that is opposing Trump. And this is authoritarianism. This is a Hitler kind of move. What did Hitler do? When the first thing that Hitler did was taking control of all the media, shutting up any opposition. So the people on the other side are saying this is a Hitler move. So look at what you've got here. This is the craziness that we're in. If you look at this from a bird's eye view, if you look at public perception right now, you are looking at one side of the population calling the other side Hitler and vice versa. And in their minds, in their view, in their perception, they can be right. They both can be right at the same time. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here?
Here's the difference. Today, each one has their own truth, right? It's not truth like when we lived in a tribe and we were more like animals. And the truth is that this one hunts and this one produces babies and this one builds the shed and this one is the elder. There was very, very clear, like in the animal kingdom or the plant kingdom, it was very clear what everyone did. Today, with all of this mind and heart that each of us have, each of us now feels that what I feel is the truth. What you feel is the truth. For
Yeah.
you, that's your truth. For me, this is my truth. And today, the problem that we have is each one stands in their truth, but each one's truth contradicts the other one's truth.
To the point that each side calls the other one Hitler. that's basically just, so when you put all of that into perspective, this is truly, and I'll say that word again, the unprecedented time that we are in. This is the never before we've had such a clash, in society. So what we're seeing now in America is just, this is it's a certain kind of climax of the egoistic social development of human beings. And again, let's look at it. We want to look at this from the perspective of human evolution. Look at where this is going from now on. So democracy. Did we ever, what do we have today? What do we have today that we call democracy? Largely, loosely speaking, you have basically people who are competing with each other, uh, each one trying their best, with sneaky, cunning, deceitful ways to influence public perception so that the other side is hated, denigrated, diminished, reduced to something that is, dehumanizing the other side. That's where it's coming to. And so that happens in the media constantly. And the over time, what happens is that the media, which is supposed to be the communication device, right? Think about it. What does it mean to communicate? To communicate means that some, party A and party B, who are not the same, who may
Cardi
have
B.
Cardi B, yeah, Cardi A and Cardi B, who are,
Oh God,
you
help
know,
us.
Party A
Sorry.
and Party B are different. They have differences. They need to find a way to understand each other. That's communication. What happens in today's era is that gradually there is no more communication left that is actually happening in the communication channels. You can't actually learn about and get to know the other side. You can only strengthen your side, to strengthen your ideology, right? And degrade the other side. And so look at what happened. News used to be news, right? That's how it started. If you wanted to be a successful news outlet, you'd be promoting how you are an objective reporter. You bring the news, you bring reports, you bring just what happens, and you do it as cleanly, objectively, and as fast as possible, and you bring it to the public. That's a good news outlet. That's a news that's doing its job. Today, it is evident, and it's not even something that you think twice. Clearly, you are either a left news outlet or a right wing news outlet. How insane is that? So we've taken the one thing that is supposed to be like objective, just reporting what's going on, and we've turned that into a something that is supporting one side or the other side. It took a long time for humanity to recognize that there are laws that are so fundamental today, like the law of gravity. In the same way, we're going to recognize now, unfortunately, in a very painful way, we're going to recognize that there are laws that govern human society as well, and we cannot run away from them.
Or
And
silence them or kill them.
exactly, and you cannot eradicate any part of society, even the worst. You cannot, because it's a part of nature, and nature does not allow it. And so the only thing that needs to happen with all parts of society is that they gradually need to ripen to their fully ripened, evolved state. And just like you can't judge a fruit at a given point in time while it's bitter and just throw it away and throw it to the garbage, you have to let it evolve. You have to let it come to its fruition. You have to let it undergo this process that could be a complete inversion from bitter to sweet. And so what we're experiencing right now is that we are still trying to eradicate each other and silence each other and shut each other up, at least for the next 4 years, at least until we can. And that's, again, first of all, that's not even close to the true idea of democracy. And it's not going to work because it goes against nature. In nature, opposite sides work together to create life.
There's a plus and minus war that accompanied us all the way from the atomic level, even before it go back to the Big Bang, even before it materialized. But once it materialized, it's always been this plus and minus war. Now we're feeling it in our family. Now we're feeling it in our neighborhood. It's the same plus and minus war that we've always been dealing with. It used to be on the atomic level, then it was on the, and as matter organized itself more and more, it became more and more complex. And here we are today. We're not going to eradicate the plus, and we're not going to eradicate the minus any sooner than we're going to eradicate nature.
I think what's happening right now, like, to be the social analyst, I would say that we are going fast towards a stage of recognition of the brokenness of our society. And I think that's a good thing. That is a good thing. And Chris brings up this the global risks in an interconnected world. Yeah, that's a World Economic Forum kind of survey they did with a bunch of leaders, and they're basically connected through their answers to the survey. They connected all the different risks in the world and showing that they're all connected. I think the recognition of the brokenness of our society, that we don't actually live in democracies, that we're gonna see. You see now, free speech is not really free speech. We haven't figured out how to live together with being adult, consciously evolved, egoistic human beings. We haven't figured it out, and it's okay. We're gonna find out that until we figure it out, our societies are just crumbling. That's where I think we're going. We're going to recognize that everything's rotten, everything's broken, to the point that it's going to be unbearable to continue this way. And at the same time, we're going to discover that we're interdependent, that the world is so intertwined in everything, just like that risks interconnection map that Chris showed us a moment ago. It's so fragile. It is so, it's like we're gonna feel like how do you call it, like an elephant in a
China shop.
in a China shop. Yeah, yeah. I think that's how the world is gonna start feeling. That it's you can no longer, and all those moves that those companies are doing and all that, if they're not in the direction of bringing the opposites together, they're going to backfire. They're going to backfire. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You can only silence and shut up people for some amount of time. It has to burst. It has to erupt. And unfortunately, the more you silence people, the more violent they become. And we're getting ourselves into a problematic, vicious cycle here. Awareness, consciousness, a sense of interdependence, understanding our own nature, understanding how nature has to work to bring us together, starting to agree with this process, bringing together education. That's what it comes down to.